You that know why, for those of you that know why, you know why, and for those, it's Tuesday with Terrietime. There's not going to be any food review today because I've totally lost my appetite. For those of you that know why, you know why, and for those of you that don't, it's just best to believe it's nobody's business. Anyway, you all know exactly how much. Come here, baby. Let's do the prayers first because I'm going to get ready to get a little pissed. Come on. Let's do them now or forever hold you. Hyena. Good girl. There's a blessing for everybody. She doesn't like it when I get upset. No, she doesn't like it. And I know you're helping FBS's mom because, unlike me, you don't hold grudges. You love everybody. Anyway, I won't be eating today because I have no appetite whatsoever because of my gram a day that I do according to Johnny. You don't know how much meth I do. You don't know how much snap I do. And I got a clip of you pathetic crybaby using my story of trauma of being tied in the woods and trying to make it sound like I said it happened 20 years ago. I never said it happened 20 years ago. In fact, it happened 3 years ago. I never said any different, and the only thing it proves is that I am not a cop caller, because I can guarantee you if the same thing would have happened to you, you probably wouldn't have lasted the night. And if you did get cut loose, which I doubt if they would have, they just left you there, you would have been on the phone with the cops as soon as you could have. So all that little story did was prove that you're a liar and you're using my story and my life to try to make yours more relevant. And I see your little wheels on the peace train are already coming off, like I knew they would. Pool Stick opened up his chat. I see people leaving that hate each other. One's coming in that don't, but they give him a lot of views, and they're coming in and moving out, coming in, moving out, coming in, moving out. You and little you got mad when Brittany come in the chat when you were on Deadlies, and you took your little ball and your bat and your bear spray and left with a big muscle and a big gangster. Finally feels like she's relevant, which she isn't. Wake up, gangster. Nobody even listens to you. You're jokes. Your little peace train is already falling apart. And then I seen the big, arrogant, wannabe atheist, FBS, getting mad at stand-up guy for having pizza on his panel. His feelings are all hurt. Now he's gone off, so that's the end of that peace train. Peace train's not going to work, people. I've been around these women for 5 years. I've seen this shit happen over and over. They switch out unbelievably. And the men are looking just as bad because they're all getting in their feelings. Ooh, well, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. But yet they were all going to be this big, no more hate, no more families. How's that working out for you, fellas? Ain't looking too good to me. Not looking too good from where I'm looking at all. So, Mako, I did not try to make that story sound like it was 20 years ago. In fact, if you ever watched anybody's lives and paid any attention to people, you would know that I took people on a ride up that road. It hasn't been that long ago tried to find the very tree where it happened, but I couldn't. So I never tried to say it happened 20 years ago. And the only thing it proved is that I'm not a cop caller. That same scenario that happened to FBS, which I don't believe a word he says, if that would have happened to me, there would have been no cops called. Period. Period. And Pool Stick, no matter what you do, no matter how many people you let in your chat that I don't like, which is almost all of them, I will never betray you. Never. Just something about you. Can't do it. I'll be waiting for that hug, though. And also, FBS, you are not an atheist. And Pool Stick hit on something that I've mentioned several times. I have been an atheist. I can actually remember when I was 6 years old being in a Catholic church, and the priest walked up to me with these sandals on his feet, and I got a weirdo feeling. And I thought there's something phony about all this. I was 6. By the time I was 12, I knew. I didn't believe any of it. But I have never criticized anybody, anywhere, anytime for their religious beliefs. Never happened, never will, and I don't know an atheist that does that. George Carlin kind of made jokes, but I've never been like you, just, well, you dumb to pray for this shit. Let them pray for what they want to. If it works for them, that's great. Some people like Hyena giving blessings. I'm sure it must have helped your mother. Ain't heard you mention her. So leave people believe what they want to believe. I've never. In fact, I worked at that salt mine for 45 years, and there might have been 2 people in the whole place that even knew I was an atheist. Because unlike you, if they wanted to pray for my daughter or pray for me or something, I let them do it. I'd say, oh, no, you can't do that. I'm an atheist. That's not how they act. They act like me. They're more accepting than any of the other ones. Because it's the Christians and the religious people that have all the biases against. And atheists don't have a bias against nobody. Why should they? Why should they? They believe that when you die, it's just like before you were born. So I have biases against everybody. As long as they're not affecting you, let them do whatever they want to do. Let them look however they want to look. But this is one thing I do know that I've never done is talked about a family, ever. Not in my life. Not unless they shot their mouths off and got involved in it. Never. And I've never called a cop. And for you to use my story, I'm glad somebody sent me that clip. For you to use my story of being tied in the woods overnight and trying to make me look bad because you were under the impression it happened 20 years ago. Well, that was your impression, Mac. That's not the way I told the story. Never had. Find one person that ever made him think it was 20. And what difference does it make? I was just, people like my story times. In fact, you said you love my story times since I guess you really don't have any of your own, except the fake story of beating FBS up, who you never touched. And I don't believe you touched him. And he is more arrogant every day. And that clip that Pullstick played of him was perfect. Because he don't care anything about any of you people that follow him. He said it plain as day, but I knew it before any of you did. And I knew him last time. Because the only reason he even liked me at all is because I gave Lauren up to him. And I don't call that doxing. It's exposing. And I don't care what that stupid muscle says. If the damn house and the shit's in public records, then that ain't doxing. You got a right to put it up all day long, and you're not going to say nothing about Carlos to make me change my mind about him. Ever. So get over it. I don't care what you and that worthless bunch done. You're showing your 2 colors. Oh, can't be mad at deadly brothers friends again, and can't be good with this one because I've seen this one. They're already starting down the same track they've been on. Only I don't think anybody's going to put up with the... Oh, and I noticed when you played the clip, Chicago, you left the part out where you got catfished by Deadly. Oh, yeah, you conveniently left that part up. You went with a trans story which has no basis of truth in it. None whatsoever. And I wasn't even making comparison. You believed it. You were bitching about me having somebody I didn't even know in my chat that you said believed it. Well, you believed it too. That's why you're a hypocrite. Idiot! You were bitching about me having some Maddie guy in there that believed it, and you did too. So that's why you're both hypocrites then if I go by your way of thinking. And I got some friends in the snake community, and guess what? They're going to come and do a little interview with me about you. Oh, yeah. I've been in that snake community a long, long time, and I've got a lot of friends, and a lot of them know exactly who and what you are. It'll be brand new. It'll be exclusive to my channel. Oh, yeah. There may be some more doxing going on before this is over with. And Mac, if you're going to use one of my stories, make it sound like what it is. It happened 3 years ago. Never said it happened 20 years ago. Never tried to. Drove by the place. Drove by the guy's place. And I never called a cop. Never. So what was your point of the story? Trying to make me be a liar? Something I told. If I wouldn't have told it, nobody would have known it. But these women have such tragic stories. I had to let them know what woman that's really been through some shit and how I deal with it. I'm thankful to be alive. I'm not sitting there pissing and moaning when somebody mentions it and getting all, oh, I'm triggered. I'm thankful that I got out of it alive every time. That's the difference between me and these triggered women, females. That's what you want to call them. And I use that. And to sets. And I wish I had that clip. But Postick played it 100 times. And I have got something very special. And I'm going to do this now because Paul thinks it's funny when I stop in the middle of a rant and say, hey, Paul, but I know he's watching this. I just got off the message with him. Paul, good morning. I loved our 2-hour chat. I hope we get to do that more often. This is for you. Good morning. Hyena, you want to say good morning to Paul? Oh, yes, you do. This is Hyena, Paul. This is the smart one of the crew right here. You want to meet? You like Paul? You sure do. So anyway, and there's another exciting thing. Mr. Hand of Doom. People. And FBS, this is something I know you've never experienced in your life, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful because you're a beggar and a grifter and a demander of money. I have never even posted my Cash App. The only time I used my Cash App was to send ungrateful people like you money till I wised up. The other people I've sent money to, I don't mean you. You know who you are. I have never received a dime on that Cash App. Never. Never posted it. Never even mentioned I had it. So this Hand of Doom guy, who I don't know who he is, put a comment under one of my community posts. I think it was the one I put up of Carla with a forever wrench. I think that's the one he posted under. And he said, you just got a new fan and a new subscriber. Do you remember me? And I didn't. I think I've heard the name, but I might have seen it or something, but I couldn't think where it come from. So he says, do you have a Cash App? And I said, yes, but I don't ask for money and I never give it out. And he said, well, I like to give money to people I appreciate. This is somebody asking me for my Cash App because they appreciate what I say. Unlike you, FBS, who begs and throbs and beats and rants and raves and makes pizza look like Little Red Riding Hood the time you get asking for money and demanding money. This guy actually asked me for my Cash App. So I said, yeah, but you know, you don't have, and he said, no, I want to do it. So I put the Cash App out in a minute. It hit, but it didn't make that cute noise like pizza, that coin thing. It just made a regular noise. So I looked and the money was on there. And thank you so much, Hand of Doom. I don't know who you are. Thank you. It'll be wonderfully used. I appreciate it so much. And if I never get another Cash App as long as I live, this was the first one I ever got in my life. So it was so special. So I get this Cash App. So I was leaving. I had to go. I had to leave. I had to be somewhere early yesterday. In fact, to a doctor's appointment. And not for nothing, not like all these other women. It was just for a checkup. And so I go in there because there's some pills I have to get with prescription, if you know what I'm talking about. I know you pill-headed women all know what I'm talking about. So I go in there and I think, well, how do I get this money off this Cash App? I don't even know how to get it off. It was there. I don't know how to get it off. I don't know nothing about it. Never got it. I was almost tempted to call Pizza because there ain't nobody knows any more about Cash Apps than him. I thought, I can't just call him and ask him how you get money off these Cash Apps. So I'm sitting there. My doctor comes in. I'd lost weight, people. I've been fine physical health. He couldn't find a thing wrong with me. Not one complaint. He was flabbergasted. Because I think he's just waiting for me to have some kind of health issue, but it doesn't happen. So I'm sitting there and I said, hey, well, he's subscribed to my channel. And I said, hey, I got my first Cash App. I'm all excited. 72 years old and I got a Cash App, but I have one problem. He said, what? And I said, I don't know how to get the money off. He started laughing, and it was hooked up to my bank account, and he showed me how to do it, and I clicked it, and it went in my bank account, but I also got this card. He said if I'd wanted to, I could have used that card and used it like a ATM card. So thanks to my doctor, and I'm not going to call his name out, I got my money off my Cash App. Thanks to Hand of Doom, whoever you are. You were the first, you may be the last, but whatever, I will remember getting my Cash App. And unlike you, FBS, I don't think anybody has ever had to ask you for any way to get you money because you got 1,000 ways to get it and you mention it 1,000 times a show. So you ought to feel how wonderful the feeling is when somebody comes out and asks you in public, in comments, would you give me your Cash App? And I tried to say no then. He said, no, I really want you to know. I appreciate it. So, Hand of Doom, thank you for the Cash App. I now know how to actually get money off of it besides sending people Cash Apps. So that was a wonderful thing that happened yesterday. But there was a tragic thing that happened that I'm not going to mention because it's nobody's business. That's another reason I'm not going to be getting my hair or my nails done. I need them done because look at that. That nail came off, that first nail. But I've got important stuff to do today. Paul, I hope you're watching this right now. I hope you're watching this right now because I'm going to make a special effort. Trump. Oh, I got my Trump shirt on too, folks. Look at this. time we circle back. Next time you're going to play a clip of mine, play the whole thing. That hideous clip you played didn't prove nothing. All it did was talk about Carlos. Didn't talk how I called you out wrong 3 times in a row. Oh my God, and I'm watching the wheels come off the peace train. It is wonderful to watch. It's just glorious to watch. I mean, every day there's people walking out and walking in, walking out and walking in. And Rolex and Joey, Carlos, good morning. When I get off of here, I'm going to upload this. This is all you're going to be getting from me. If I even get on here the weekend, because I have a lot to do. A lot's went down. But I just wanted to thank Poolstick for playing the obvious of and how anybody can sit in an arrogant, unprofessional, unexciting, fake, phony person that talks down to everybody in his chat. I don't even care if you give him tons. He does not care about anything. He is a true narcissist. And his little sneakers, that's so immature and stupid. But you people sit over there with him. It's only going to get worse. You better, as some of you that got a job in this Biden economy, you better be finding out how to get more money, because it's going to dry up. People ain't got it. If he would walk outside and look at the gas prices and realize what this economy is, he's draining his little people dry. Because I don't see how any of them are giving him anything out of loyalty or appreciation like Hand of Doom gave me. I didn't even know who he was. I remember seeing his name. That was special. That means somebody really likes what you're saying and believes it when they will go to that much trouble to get a cash app out of you. Again, thank you, Hand of Doom. And it was so funny because I had to get my doctor kind of off the beaten path he was headed down, so I asked him that, and I got out of there quickly. Because I only go there for one reason. Twice a year. And I think we can all figure out what that is. But, Johnny Mac, you don't know how much snap I do a day. You're sitting there saying I do a gram. Where'd you get those calculations from? You don't know anybody I know in real life. Nobody. And I wish you would get a hold of one of them. Because I'll tell you what, you'd be crying before you got off the phone. You'd be crying. Because they wouldn't tolerate your punk questions for 2 seconds. And I'm not going to shut my mouth. If I can go through the stuff I've been through because of my mouth, for instance, being tied in the woods overnight, you think you're going to say something to me that's going to make me shut up? Not in your wildest dreams. You better keep on the fast track with them women you flirt with. Because you don't press me at all. You never have. You've never met my height requirement, which I do have, a height requirement. And FBS, if you're an atheist, I am ashamed. I am so ashamed because I have been one. I'm not good at math, but since I was 12, let's say. So that's 50 years. That's 60 years. And I've been around a lot of them, and they've never acted like you. Never. None of them. Never threw it in anybody's face. Very few even mentioned it like me. I don't even hardly mention it. When I went to that Trump store, and he was showing me all the Trump hats, and he kept wanting to show me this one with Jesus on it. Did you notice that I never put it on the camera, but I never hurt that man's feelings? That man never knew for 1 minute that I didn't show that hat with Jesus on it. And I would have shown it. It wouldn't have been that big a deal, but it was just as easy to pan up and not show it. So, Poolstick, good morning. I love watching your chat going. You don't even know what's going on. You don't even know how many of them people hate each other, but I do. I'm watching it. It's fun for me. So much fun. And to watch Deadly and Brothers break off and do their own. And Deadly, sometime please tell me how you catfish that stupid, ignorant Wessel guy. Because I'm going to be finding out some shit about you in the snake community. It didn't take me 2 people to ask, and they were ready to spill their guts on you. See, you fucked up. All you people do. Because I've been on here 19 years. I've been in lots of communities. And I'm not just in there. I talk to people, get to know them. And I thought, I want to go check that snake community out. See if I can get anybody to say anything. Oh, there's plenty of people willing to talk. Plenty. You can just sit there and try and figure out which ones it's going to be. Be ready. I will try to put a thumbnail up. So don't ever underestimate me. And don't ever try to embellish one of my stories when you don't know the facts. And don't ever try to embellish how much snap I do a day, because you have no idea. None. Paul, hopefully we'll get to have another long conversation. That was great. And we very seldom get to talk long, but we talked 2 hours the other day, and it was wonderful. So I'm going to get off here, and if you people are still stupid enough to give FBS money, just remember that I was asked if somebody could, and it's a wonderful feeling to know that I've never begged or never asked for money, ever. And if he wants to get on there and say everybody that says that is lying, then you're a liar. You're a liar, FBS. You don't know nothing. You know I got some good finances because I threw cash apps at you like it was candy. But it didn't take me near as long as it's taking them people following you now to figure out what you were. Didn't take me 6 months. I knew what you were then. Absolutely knew what you were. So be ready for my snake interviews. I feel kind of bad because I do spend a lot of time, and especially the retic community, Wessel. And I interact with my fish people because I actually have fish. But I interact with the snake people too, because even though I don't have them, I like to hear about the rescues and how they calm them down, how they get a brand new retic or a boa or something like that, because the ball pythons are kindergarten snakes. They're for anybody. And I'd been talking to this guy, for a while, and I said, I don't like to bring this up. I emailed him. I said, I really don't know if it means anything or if you'll be willing to talk about it. But there's a guy over in the community I'm in. He's caused a lot of trouble, and they found out who he was, and boy, did he know who you were. Go ahead and argue with him, Wessel. Make up some shit about him like you do me. Wessel from Arkansas. Oh, yeah, that snake community knows you really well. So, on that note, have a great day. Use some more of my stories. I got some more interesting ones than just being tied in the woods. And I never tried to lie about no timeline, ever. What difference would it make? I never said what happened was because I read my mouth to the wrong people. And when he kind of drove me out there, I sort of knew what was up. I knew what I'd done. But that's why you don't give your ID and all your information to women, Wessel. Like Angel Gotti, Wessel. If you were a real biker, bikers know not to give their information to women because shit happens like what happened with me. And she can deny it all she wants. I heard what she said. And I'm not going back through all her fucking videos to try to find it. But there was people in the chat that heard her say it too. That she had some kind of information and she gave it to 2 of her closest friends, which had to be MRE or one of them other ones. MRE probably the main one. Wessel. So go ahead, get catfished by another guy. Hopefully Deadly will tell me how he did that. I don't know how that works. How you can be a guy and catfish somebody. I don't know how a real biker or even a man would give all their information to any kind of a female, biker or not. And I don't know how you couldn't get the hypocrite thing because you were having a fit because this Maddie guy, you left that part out. You didn't play none of that part of the clip. That Maddie guy, I don't even know who he is. You were saying, well, he thought you were a woman, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, so did you. So you're just like him. How's that make me a hypocrite? You were both believing the same shit that the wannabe midget Nazi told you. He's about as much of a Nazi as FBS is an atheist. So, I'm getting off here. I don't know when I'll be back. I got some shit to take care of. The people that know, and the people that don't know, don't need to know. Anyway, I will get these nails done as soon as possible. My hair stays good, but that nail came off and it's driving me nuts. And again, Hand of Doom, whoever you are, thank you. You were a first. And I didn't, believe me, after being 72 years old and running a porn room, I didn't think there were any firsts left in me, but you did it. You did it first. And FBS, you ought to see how wonderful it is to have somebody actually ask to give you money. Not be demanding. Not me saying, you better give me some money or I'm going to shut this show down. I can do a 30-minute show. I don't have to be on there 2 or 3 hours and rant and rave and say, hello, so-and-so, hello, so-and-so. Match this, match that, match this. I got actually asked, and I was so flattered and so honored that somebody was willing to ask me and give me money for just believing me, I guess, because I tell the truth. So anyway, everybody have a good day, but especially you, Paul. Oh yeah, and in case anybody's checking the chats, I was in Jules' chat to straighten out the Heidi Black dog abuse person because I was a first-hand witness to it, and Minnie was too. And that's why when Minnie spreads this damn rumor that I forced that purse on her, she begged for that purse. I've never had a Louis Vuitton. Oh my God, I've always wanted one. You know why she turned on me? She was in that dog abuser's goddamn room, and I've still got the screenshot knowing what that bitch had done to a dog. That was the final nail in her coffin. And yes, I've exposed people, Chicago, and you didn't even get Johnny Mac's talking about Vault. He's way behind the times. I exposed Deborah Silver, the purse woman, first. And if they do something to deserve it, it's not against the law, I'll goddamn to expose every person I want to, and I'm not ashamed of it. That's not the same as being a cop caller. If it's public information, then you can use it. You got that? If it's public, you can use it. It's not against the law. So I would just tell people, just like Minnie, even though I caught her doing that shit, even though I got the screenshots, I would have never said a word about that purse if she wouldn't have been over in that dog killer's room. Not, she didn't kill the dog. The dog might be dead. She said it ran away and she didn't see it again. But she was saying, fuck Terrietime in that purse. And that's what did it. That's when I said, oh, you want to play with me? Okay. Let's play. And I still ain't dropped it all, Minnie. You know I haven't. You know I know who your partner is. You absolutely know. And you better just thank whoever you believe in that I am not going to go against my own morals and bring an innocent person into this. Yet. But you keep pressing your luck. You keep saying that purse was not real. You keep saying that I pushed it on you. Well, if I'm such a pushed it on you, then you should have been more than willing to give it back. You don't have any excuse not to give it back except you sold it. Just tell the truth. You ain't got to apologize because your apology ain't worth pissing on. But you could admit the truth and quit trying to put a bad stain on a woman that I thought very much of that passed away. That's why the purse meant so much to me. I'll guarantee you right now nobody else will get anything of mine till I'm passed away. Because one time getting burned by somebody like her is all it takes for me. It doesn't happen again. So have fun using my trauma stories. Try to get them right. I never said it happened a long time ago. Never did. The main part about the story that everybody should pay attention to is don't give your information to women. And I don't call cops. Period. So, ciao.